Welcome back to Plant a Die Garden. If you've been following along with this series, you might be wondering, when do we ever get to see what this garden is going to look like? And I'm so pleased to say that I have the plans all drawn out and we get to go over those today. So far in this series, we have chosen our seed starting equipment and started our seeds. We've daydreamed about what we can do with our die plants once they're growing, and we've chosen and prepared a planting site. I love this garden because not only do I get to make all kinds of fun things with the flowers and leaves from it, but it's beautiful in its own right. It's filled with all kinds of colors and textures and is really a wonderful thing to have in your yard all summer long to enjoy. Here's a look at the summer die garden plan. This is for the 4x8 foot garden, and there will also be a plan for a 4x4 foot garden. Let's move down to the diagram. I think that's the most fun part of this whole thing. And you can see the whole layout and the different plants and colors that will be in the garden. Moving up to the top, we have the list of seeds that will be planted in the garden, starting with Hopi Black Dye Sunflower, Hollyhock Jet Black, Scabiosa Black Knight, Dyer's Coreopsis, Japanese Indigo, and Basil Red Reuben. On the right-hand side, you can see there's an alternate for the Dyer's Coreopsis. That's Sulfur Cosmos. And then on the left is a little symbol showing whether it's good for dyeing or flower pounding. Some of them are good for both. And next down is a short list of plants that will come from the nursery: marigolds and moss verbena. These are readily available in most nurseries and will give us some quick color in the garden. There's also an alternate plant here, Dyer's Chamomile instead of marigold. This one most likely will need to be started from seed. It's not as commonly found. Last in the list is madder. I recommend planting this separately from other plants in a pot or a container. That's because madder has irritating, rough leaves and stems, and you don't want to rub up against it while you're tending other plants. Also, this plant is grown for its roots, so when it comes time to harvest the roots, you don't want to disturb your other plants. Here's our key. So it shows a little die pot for die plants and a hammer for flower pounding, and you can see that every dot square equals 3 inches in the diagram. So back here at our diagram, I do want to point out that the numbers on here on this draft are not accurate, but they've been updated for the download. So starting out on the left, we have a cluster of marigolds, and then basil, indigo, coreopsis, and verbena. And you can see that this whole row is repeated down here on the other side of the garden. In the middle row, we have scabiosa, hollyhock, sunflowers, and then we repeat hollyhocks and scabiosa on the opposite side. Before you forget, this is a good time to pause and download the garden plan. There's a 4x4 and a 4x8, so take your pick. The link to download the garden plan is in the description below. After a lot of digging to remove weeds, my site is finally ready. The dirt has been turned, so it's also nice and soft, about 6 to 8 inches down. And I'm ready to mark out the dimensions. I probably will be doing a 5x7 or 5x6 garden rather than a 4x8, just because that is what is going to fit in this area. But as far as square footage goes, I should come out roughly about the same as a 4x8 foot garden. And I encourage you to use what you have in terms of space. One of the reasons a 4-foot wide planting bed is popular is because the width is just narrow enough that it's easy to reach across to the middle of the planting bed and be able to easily reach everything, versus something wider where you're going to have to reach a little bit more in order to get to what's in the center of your garden. Was this video useful, enjoyable, or inspiring? If so, please like and subscribe. This helps more people find it. Also, make sure to catch the whole Dye Garden series by finding the playlist. The link is in the description below. And I also have some downloadable resources for you.